That's what she said. Uh, welcome to another episode of Film My Home. My name is still Phil Balabanos, and today on In the Hole, I guess. I don't know. I got to figure out an interesting catchphrase for this. Today in the Hole, we have Tony Kariotis. I have a hard time pronouncing Greek names not in Greek, so I just sound worse than most of the wasps. You know, I'm like, Mr. Kariotis, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, Kariotis, if you want to say it in Greek.
Yeah, we'll say Antonios Kariotis of the land of Korea. So Tony is an interesting fellow. I don't actually know Tony that well. I don't know Tony at all. We just met 3 minutes ago, officially for the first time. But we came into contact on Instagram, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony.
Yes, sure.
Through the film Hellenes account that I run.
Yes.
Which, if anyone doesn't know what that is, I don't push it often because it's a pretty niche thing. It's basically an Instagram community for filmmakers and photographers and content creators of Greek origin or from Greece, just for us to like exchange shit. I'll put a link for that if you guys want to follow it. And through there, I discovered Greece. So Tony actually owns the Instagram handle I am Greece, right? Is that
yeah? And Greece.
He also owns Greece. So you're speaking to the oligarch of the Hellenic people today, Tony. He owns Greece. So okay,
you count at Greece. They count.
So let's start there. How did you manage that, and how have they not come for you yet?
I'm gonna give you the same answer I give everyone. I get this question obviously a lot. Right place, right time. Eyes lit wide open when it worked, and I was just like, "Holy crap! I have the account called Greece."
Have they ever reached out? They have
no
never.
One from the government or anything. I get a bunch of like Instagrammers that want to buy it all the time, and I just ignore those texts.
Do you think they're legit?
Yeah, they're probably legit offers because I'm sure people want that people that have great accounts and they know how to work the market. They see an account like Greece, they could probably do wonders with it if they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's true. But like, I would never go so far as to say the Greek government is very developed as far as like the web goes. They're okay, like, whatever.
Right.
They're a small Balkan nation, um, but they have a really developed tourism industry. Like I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw their press conference yesterday. I guess you may have been in transit when it happened.
Yeah, I caught a short glimpse of it. I saw Mitsotakis was in the Santorini with the
like
sunset
fire
view.
in the sky.
Yeah,
like,
that was like Game of Thrones type of.
That was it was there.
Yeah.
They must have a new PR firm because I've never seen anyone do anything like that, and it was.
No, I'm pretty sure they do actually. They did revamp the tourism about a year ago. Yeah, they brought in some new young minds.
So new young guys, if you want the At Greece account, it's here, and he's not selling it. He's just not selling it.
Not available. So price tag on it.
So why do you need it? Like what is it? So I know you have a company called Greece Media.
Yes.
So what exactly? Because to me, it seems like the dreams I had as a child of like getting up and hanging out on a beach and somehow getting paid for it. Mm-hmm. It seems like you've done that to some extent. Like, where are you from?
Not yet. It's still in development. I've done some pretty cool collaborations that have brought in great value, but still building the aspect of the company called Greece Media, and I think by 2021 the services will be rolling with what I even envisioned.
So I don't like to use this platform as a way to like promote things, and I don't care if people want to self-promote, that's fine. But I'm legitimately and genuinely like, what the hell is your service offering? And I mean that with all due respect.
Yeah. No, there's gonna be some unique things. We're gonna have curated travel experiences. Mm-hmm. I have a few people that specialize in that are going to come on board and build these packages where, let's say, a family of 5 want to go to Greece and they say, we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, tell us what we need to do. This package will have the connection set with the hotels, the restaurants you're going to dine at, the sites you want to go see with ticket specials to go see these sites. So it'll just be, you buy this package, you go on vacation, we take care of everything. That's one aspect of the company.
So like bespoke Greece vacations.
I'm sorry?
Bespoke Greece vacations, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I'm sure there's a massive market for that.
There is, and we've done the research, and it is actually something that's heavily searched on Google and search engines. So there's definitely a market for that. And between myself, that I mean, I spend my summers island hopping, so I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've met some people that know just as much, or if not more. So we've discussed these travel package ideas, and then other things are going to be films that promote Greece travel, photography, um, and podcasts that can bring in revenue in different ways. That's not more of a service, but it can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
if
for sure.
it'll be more of a learn Greece through digital content. Learn what it's all about. Learn the history. Learn the travel sites. All the how tos
How
when you're trying
have they not
to
reached out to you?
for the handle. I don't think they
Not
need the handle.
not for the handle, but I mean, you're basically doing what the tourism industry should be
Oh,
doing.
right, right, right. No,
Yeah,
I,
like
I think
they should just buy you at this point.
I think they're gonna eventually find out. I think there's definitely there's no way that they haven't seen what I'm doing, um, but
If
no one at the high level has reached out.
if they haven't, they should be fired. Like, it's that simple. I remember the first interaction we had, I was like, "This is interesting. I made this account for Greek creators, and the Greek government found me, and they seem nice. We're, like, having a conversation." I'm like, "This is not the Greek government." Like, very quickly, I was like, this is a guy. This is a random guy. Who is this guy?" Where are you
Yeah,
from, Tony?
yeah. I'm sorry.
Where are you actually from? And I don't mean, like, which village
Yeah,
did
yeah, yeah,
your
no,
ancestors come from? I mean, in the world.
I lived in Boston most of my life, basically all of it. About a year ago, I moved to New York,
Okay.
and then when the pandemic hit on March 11th, I was like, I need to get out of here. And by Friday the 13th, I was out of town, and I went back to Boston until things quieted down. But by the
That
time things started to
yeah.
quiet down, it was time to come to Greece.
That seems like a safer place to be during this weird time.
Yeah, I
Like
went back
yeah.
to a suburb in south of Boston rather than being I was in Brooklyn, like one
Oof.
stop away from Manhattan.
So like
And
what, in Astoria?
no,
No, no, Astoria is
just
Queens,
south of
right? Yeah.
Astoria. Yeah, just south of Astoria, not far.
Right.
But that night, I ended up actually back in Astoria at a Greek. A friend and a friend of mine. We were out at some event, and then we were like, "Let's hit Greek Town," and we went down to one of the bazookia there.
Honestly, for anyone watching who's like not Greek or who's never experienced Greek town in New
Yeah,
York, like in
yeah,
Astoria, it's a fucking scene. Like
yeah,
it is out of this world. It's like the Twilight Zone. I've had
yeah, yeah,
some really great times in Astoria.
yeah,
I don't remember all of them, but they were great. I remember feeling happy after.
yeah. They
But
usually
yeah,
end up at Caprice for most of the night.
yeah, Capri, yeah,
Yeah,
right under the overpass. Yes, I've
yeah,
been there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
s I've seen a single boob there once, just one, not both, not the pair. Caprice, wow, I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah,
Sorry. No, but yeah, Boston also has a huge Greek community. Actually,
yeah.
most of,
Yep.
I have a lot of relatives in Boston, now that I think
Okay.
of it, and I've spent a lot of time there because it seems that when the governments were paying Greek immigrants to come to the New World, to the
Mhm.
West, like, I guess Boston reached out directly to my grandfather's village because they all went to Boston except him. He
Hmm.
came here, he's like, "Ah, they're all there, I'm gonna go somewhere else."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, I've spent a lot of time in Boston growing up, not in Boston proper, but, like in, like Lynn, Massachusetts,
Okay. Yeah. No.
Peabody, all these small towns in New England.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and the Cape, obviously, all Greek Canadians go to the Cape,
Oh,
you know?
dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
where
know.
the Kennedys went, so that's where we go,
All right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the water smells funky and it's kinda cold. Alright, so you're basically Greece's tourism agency, they just don't know it yet, which is cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they honestly they have stepped up their game. Um,
For sure, yeah.
but I mean, I just feel like I just bring my flavor. I have my view on it, and I do it my way.
No, I've seen some I saw your film series, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it, but I know that I'm aware of it, I know you
Yeah. Yeah.
posted it, I just the film Hellenes account has kind of fallen to the wayside during the
Gotcha.
pandemic because 'cause I've just been so swamped with, like, pandemic things and work.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Naked Santorini, right?
Right.
So
Yeah. I
that
did
seems
that.
like a really interesting,
That was shot this
undertaking.
winter. I was in Greece for New Year's, and I hopped over to Santorini, had my gear with me, and I wanted to shoot some sort of like quiet, meditative film, and I just figured
Yeah.
an empty Santorini might be the perfect fit.
Do you have a background in video at all, or you're just picking it
Uh,
up as you go? I saw today you were actually testing some gear.
yeah,
You had a Ronin out.
I was assembling the Ronin because I want to practice during quarantine so that
How'd it go?
'cause I had a Ronin with me this winter and I tried playing with it. I'm like, I can't handle this thing. So I just put it back in the bag and I just didn't touch it the rest of
Yeah, they're finicky. Anyone who's listening and doesn't know what a Ronin, like, he didn't have like a lone samurai with him. It's a
the
gimbal by DJI.
right.
I love the footage that Ronins give. I hate using them. They're
Assembling is a
just
little difficult.
it's yeah, assembling it, balancing it.
And
You got
they're
to
heavy and
change.
yeah.
Look, it's not. It's look. It's better than it was 10 years ago when you had a Steadicam operator that you had to put in a suitcase, like a whole man with a whole 50, 60 pounds of gear.
Right, right,
But yeah, I understand. Like it can be very frustrating, and you can miss stuff because you're
right.
so focused on it. So yeah,
So
you're just kind of learning as you go, right?
yes and no. So back way back when I was in finished high school and I wanted to go on to college, I did actually go to school for TV communications, videography,
Oh, okay.
but it was all behind the scenes work, like running multi-camera studios and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
after I graduated, I didn't pursue it. I got into the family business and did that for about a little over 10 years, 10, 15 years. I ran the business. And then when I
You mind
was,
if I ask you what the fam? Is it Dinah's?
it's not food, no.
Okay, I was just curious.
It's we make I still actually own the business, but I've taken a lesser role so that I can work on what I want to do now.
Yeah, right.
Um, we make promotional products, custom printed T-shirts, embroidery, trophies,
Oh,
awards,
cool. The
videos.
original Vista print. I like it.
Yes, correct. We do everything in house. We don't outsource anything
That's pretty
unless it's
cool.
time consuming. We don't want to deal with it. Um, so yeah, that, and then I got into real estate a few years after that. I still do that, and now this Greece media is more of a let me see if I could turn a passion into something, and I have the backing to do it right now. So I'm willing to risk a couple years to pull this off.
Honestly, it seems like a pipe dream in my mind. Not the fact that you're doing it, but like telling you, 18-year-old Phil would have been like, this is it. Maybe not the travel part. Like I haven't spent enough time in Greece to be able to say I can set you up with packages, and
Yeah.
like the time I've spent has been quality, like long periods at a
Honestly, I
time.
can't handle that part either. That part was I know someone who's really good at that. Put it
Okay,
that way.
but
So
yeah,
I'm gonna probably outsource that portion, but I think it's enough of a service to add to give it a little more flavor.
yeah, you throw your brand on top of it, and it kind of elevates the whole experience, right?
Right.
But where are you now, by the way? Are you in Athens or?
I mean, yeah, Glifada in Athens.
Oh, okay. What's it like down there now? Like, are people out?
Um,
Greeks tend to not give a fuck, but they locked down really hard during
yeah,
quarantine. I was
I
really impressed.
I haven't really been outside much.
Oh, you're in
Uh,
isolation.
yeah, I'm in
Right.
isolation. I did see it while I was driving to the hotel. Um, they let me drive over to the hotel. I mean, they tell you to isolate. They're not checking on you, but I'm
I
not.
thought they were checking on you.
They do and they don't.
Okay.
I think a month ago they were probably checking, or like 2 months ago. But right now they're so close. Like today is the start of tourism season, so I think it got a little lenient where they're hoping that people don't like. This is just
Yeah,
my
yeah. No, no, for sure.
uh,
Like we established, you're not part of the government. You're
yeah. I
just a
am not
guy.
except all the DMs I was getting today because of the story I posted. Everyone's assuming I have government answers. They're like, "Can you answer this? Can you answer that?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm not the government." But I
So,
tried to
so,
give them the
so
best.
let's do this. Let's do this properly, right? Let's provide a public service to some
Yeah,
extent.
yeah.
The last thing I want, obviously, is for Greece to get fucking no new tourists because that's bad for the country.
Right. But
Uh,
I also personally don't want Greek Americans coming.
well, I don't want Greek Americans anywhere. No, present company excluded, I guess, because
Or
I
Greek
invited you
Canadians.
here.
Or Greek
No,
Canadians.
they're no, fuck them. They're worse.
No,
Um,
I don't mean it personally. I just saying.
no,
I just
we don't
it's
have it under
dangerous.
control.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
dangerous.
look, during the lockdown, as I was watching Greece get all this like incredible press about what a good job they're doing.
Yeah.
First of all, there's two parts of me in that situation. There's the part of me going, how is this happening? This
Mhm.
can't be real life. How are Greeks following government directives? This is
Yeah.
literally the most recalcitrant people I've ever come up. Like they don't trust the government for good reason, for very good reason. And they were like, "Whoa, the government said we should stay in," and they did,
Yeah.
and
No,
it
they
blew
trust this
my
new
mind.
government. No, they trust this new government.
I don't know if they all trust this new government. I
A
don't even
lot
know
of
if
them do.
I
That
trust this
from
new government.
people that like have told me they the Greeks more than there's more that trust than that don't, and I think it was the opposite before.
Well, I mean, there was no trust.
Yeah,
Then Tsipra came in, and there was some trust trying to be rebuilt. He
yeah,
tried at the beginning. Then he held a referendum and did the opposite of what the people voted. And then there was no trust again.
right.
And then there was a refugee crisis, and then the economy continued to deteriorate. So now we have. Honestly, I don't know what to make of this new version of the new democracy. Like,
Mm.
I haven't followed it closely enough. I think
I haven't
sometime
either.
after the referendum, I stopped caring to some extent. I was like, it's a puppet government for the IMF in my mind.
Mhm.
Like that's how it feels. That's how it felt, not how it feels right now.
Sure.
Hey, do you want to hear before we go on? You want to hear my crazy conspiracy theory?
I love
It's
conspiracy.
completely unfounded. I made
Yeah.
it up one night. I'm like, this is a great. I'll throw this at Greek bars, and people will be like, oh, the IMF did it. Right? Think of the countries that got hit the hardest in
Yeah.
Southern Europe. They're the countries that fought back against bailouts the hardest. Greece is already destroyed. They own
Right.
it. What else can you do to them? Let them
Yeah.
sit this one out. Again,
Yeah.
completely unfounded. I don't believe it. I just think it's
You're
a
onto
hilarious
something.
conspiracy theory.
You're onto something.
Maybe. We'll talk about it after the recording stops.
Yeah, yeah,
Since you're in the government, we'll find out.
yeah.
All right. So I want to know. So that was that one part of me, right? The how are they
Yeah.
doing this? The other
Mhm.
part of me is scared that because none of them caught it, when the women's come in, because that's what happens in the summer, ladies and not only ladies, but men and ladies visit Greece, and they anyone who's just listening and not watching, there's a lot of
Yeah,
sex that happens in the summer in
yeah,
Greece.
yeah.
I have cousins who literally it's the only season they mate during. They just wait for the non-locals to come in. So what's gonna happen? Like if none of them had it, isn't this just gonna like
Mm,
devastate the country? So here's my question to you. What was it like entering the country 4 or 5 days after most lockdowns ended? And where I'm at here in Montreal, in Quebec, which is like the fifth worst hit city in the world for some reason,
mm,
we're still partially locked down. Things are kind of open again, but we still have
yeah.
physical distancing happening, and there's lineups and whatever. So tell me the story. Like you got on a fucking train and you went to Newark.
Yeah, so I
Let's
couldn't
hear it.
fly out of Boston, so I had to change my ticket to fly to Newark, New Jersey. So I had a 26-hour journey ahead of me. I had to get up, get on a train by 8:30 in the morning, take a 4.5-hour ride to Newark, have a 5-hour layover there, get on the plane, 7.5 hours to Germany, 6-hour wait there, and then another 2.5 to Greece. But along the way, when I got onto the jumbo jet, everyone was masked. There was a few people in spacesuits. Um, the
Sounds
food,
fun.
all the service remained the same, just with
Okay.
a few minor details of how it's handled, like the handing the cups and putting the trays on your tray and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough to say, "Oh, this sucks." No, I was like, "This is fine." Um,
Was it a packed flight? I mean,
full
from
flight,
stateside.
full flight.
Full
The
flight, eh?
jumbo
So
jet
what's like
was
what,
full.
300 people, 400 people?
Yeah, 300, 400
Wow.
people. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, it wasn't a double decker, but it was a wide body that was
Well, I
full.
remember. I think you posted it was like an A3,
A330.
an Airbus. So it's like I think
Yeah,
it's like 290 people on that flight.
yeah. It should
Yeah,
have been at least
it's a
that.
big
Yeah.
flight.
Um. Yeah. So all that stuff was routine. Not many people got up to like stretch or go to the bathroom. I was probably the only
Oh,
person. I went to the bathroom like 3 times. 'Cause I do it just to like break mentally of the long flight. Go in there and just like, all right, now I'll go back to my just to move around. I
yeah.
need,
No, I completely. I would not be able to sit there
yeah.
for.
And
Wait, just to backtrack a second. Are there no direct flights anymore? Do you have to first land in Europe somewhere?
right now from the U.S. there's no direct flight to the Greece.
Wow, that hasn't happened since the 70s.
Yeah.
That's
No, they
crazy.
yeah. Emirates canceled, Delta canceled, everything till July.
Who'd you fly with? KLM, I guess.
Lufthansa.
Lufthansa. Okay,
Yeah.
Lufthansa. Yeah, not KLM.
So
Sorry.
they wouldn't. My ticket out of Boston was in late July, and I changed it. And they said if you change it, you're gonna have to fly out of somewhere else because we're not coming to Boston until July. So I did that to New Jersey. So yeah, it was full. Everyone was in a mask. Some people didn't even eat, so they didn't have to take their mask off. I
What?
I I ate everything. Any
As you should have,
opportunity, any opportunity to take the mask down for a few minutes, I was
for
taking
sure.
it. Like, give me some more water.
You should have
Yeah.
just done what that woman did. Just cut a hole in the mask, right? Yeah,
No, at one point, because it's tough to breathe with this mask
yeah.
on. I
Especially
would
under pressure
I
at
would
elevation.
I would lean against the window with like my pillow. I had like a backpack of a pillow, and I would just pull it down because I know they're not looking. No one even policed it. I'm like, I need like 5 minutes of just air, so I just pulled it down a little bit. But
Oof.
I knew that nobody else was, so I'm like, it's not a risk. Everyone was
Yeah,
masked.
to be completely honest, the filtration system in an airplane, because think about it, when you fly, you're inhaling other people's farts for 6, 7 hours. That's what you're doing,
But
right?
I was told that the filtration is actually good for the situation.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
probably HEPA filters. They're
yeah.
probably better than the filters in like a car or
Oh,
whatever. So it's
100%.
safer than an
And
Uber.
we're talking world class airlines here.
Well, look, yes, yes and no, but these airplanes are old, but I'm sure the filtration has been upkept, obviously.
Yeah.
Like they needed to account for like bacterial and viral spread before
Sure,
we were all
especially when
doing
the
it.
pandemic hit, they must have replaced the filtrations, and I'm sure that's public information.
Uh, I wonder
Uh,
actually. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm gonna look into that after. I'm
Somebody can
curious.
call them out on that. Like, can you prove you've changed the filters this year?
I don't know if it's the FAA or if it's what is it called in Europe? Yes, I forget. But
Yeah, I don't.
someone must be on top of this because they lost a lot of money. They want
Yeah,
to make sure
and
people
they're
feel
not
safe.
taking risks. Like everybody, everything was really, really organized.
Hmm.
Really organized.
What are the wait times? Longer than before, right?
The wait times for
In general, just to like board the plane, deplane.
yeah, boarding was like one person at a time every 6 feet.
Oof.
But I like boarding last just because you're on the plane less, and the minute you sit down, they're like ready to
Yeah,
go. So I'm
right.
like literally the last one. So I literally watched everyone get on the plane, and then I'd get on, sit down in like 5 minutes. They're like rolling back.
You're off.
So
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
miss those days. I can't do that anymore. I have kids now, so when we fly, like we got to board
That's,
first. And when I
yeah, you
travel
gotta.
for work, I always sneak in first. I always make up some excuse so that I can get overhead for my gear.
Yeah, true,
Like I
true.
don't want to throw that in the back and some guy drops it. But
They
yeah,
made me
those
check
were good days.
at the gate. They made me check my carry-on, which had my drone in it and everything. And I'm like, and this happened. So when I was leaving Greece in January, I made it all the way to the gate with my carry-on, and this Greek lady that was working for Lufthansa pointed me out and this other girl out and said, "We want to weigh your carry-on bags." I'm
Oh,
like I've never had my carry-on bag weighed.
really?
She goes, "Put this on this thing. If it doesn't fit inside, we have to check it." And I'm like, I got like a few grand worth of cameras in there. Like I can't play games. And a couple of things were rented from a lens rental company.
Yeah.
So she goes, take out anything important, and she took it. So I'm like, this better get to Athens, or I'm gonna hunt you down. I told
But
her, but in a
that's
friendly way.
classic Greek airport.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
happened. They're
So
like, "Oh, you're overweight." I'm like, "You waited twice, and I'm pretty sure you're stepping on the scale." They're like,
yeah.
"Look, for 25 euros, you're not overweight." I'm like, "All right, you take
I'm talking
card?" They're
about
like,
this is at the
"Cash
gate
only."
gate. This
Yeah,
is
at
at
the
the
gate.
yeah, yeah,
I've experienced this at the gate. They're like, "For 25 euros." I'm like, "What do you
yeah.
mean? With 25 euros to
It
you?"
was free. I'll give her that. It was free.
All
So
right,
then
okay.
so then
Fine,
I get on
fine.
the plane. I get on the plane. I get to Boston, and what do you hear in the intercom? Antonio's Kariotis, please report to the Lufthansa counter, please. So I'm
Shit,
like, they
they
lost
got
my
you.
bag.
They got
They
you.
lost my bag. So I get there. They're like, your carry-on didn't get on that plane out of Athens. And I'm like, that fucking lady. Oh,
Really?
like I'm
Oh,
gonna,
oh God, that's a nightmare situation with the gear.
yeah. So like my drone's in there. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They're like, do not worry, it's already flying because
Oh,
the
okay.
2 flights that day. It's gonna land here in the morning. We'll drive it to your house.
That's
I'm
not so
like,
bad.
so I started thinking, how can I make some money off this? So they missed the next day. They got it to
Hang
me.
on, hang on, hang on. Are you about to say something incriminating on here? Remember, we're recording this.
No, it's real. I really did have
I
to.
didn't say it's not real. You just said,
Yeah,
"How can I make some money off this?" Like, if your insurance watches this, are you gonna get in trouble?
no, not at all.
All right, go for it.
Because it was actually clean. It's
Oh,
actually
okay,
looked
all
really
right.
good. So They got it to me the next day, but after 5 o'clock, and the rental company was closed by then. So now I got to wait 3 more days to return the lens.
Oh, okay.
So I called them and I'm like, can you guys prepare me an invoice for these specific dates rather than the 2 full weeks? And I spiced up the invoice a little, and and they sent me $1,200.
That is that's
Yeah.
a trip. That's a ticket to Greece from Montreal. 1,200
So
bucks.
that 1,200 went to basically pay that trip off because that was a ticket to Boston and back to Greece, and this is the back to Greece leg
Right. Oh
that
man,
I'm on
that's
right
a
now. This
sweet
is my
deal.
return. I had a round trip from Athens to Boston back to Athens, and this is my return back there. So I don't have a ticket home yet. I got to book that soon.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. Wait, do you have a Greek passport?
I do not.
So are you allowed to do one ways? Yeah, you are. I guess. Huh?
It's not a one way.
Well, you just haven't. Oh right, it's a
I
round
had
trip,
a
but you don't
round
have a
trip ticket
date.
from January from
Right.
Athens
Right.
to Boston back to Greece. Yeah.
Right. So now you land in Greece.
Uh,
Everyone's been in masks, right? So you, like you said,
Yeah,
it's
so you
not
get
that
put into
different.
so everyone's getting off the second plane. On the plane, you're filling out these forms with your info, where you're gonna stay, whatever.
COVID-19
Uh,
forms, I guess.
yeah,
Like not,
basically,
not.
you
Yeah.
just declare who you are, where you're gonna stay for the 7 days. Give us a phone number, an email address, an emergency contact in case we can't reach you. So then you get off and you get put in this room with, and it starts filling up, and like this was no social distancing, but everyone had a mask on, and
Is
then
it
you hear
that?
this.
Is it
Good.
that same room, or they have
Well,
somewhere
all
new?
basically it's like the waiting rooms to get on the plane are just enclosed now
Oh, okay, I see.
into like little different groups.
It's not that section of the Greek airport where you enter to go through customs, right? You know where the snaking line
No, it's
is?
not.
No,
It's
it's
where
not
you're
that. Okay.
basically walking through the glass areas to get to your
Oh,
plane
okay, okay.
and you're coming off. It's just those seating areas are now just enclosed for different purposes each room.
I guess that
So I'm
makes
throwing
sense.
everyone in this room, and there's a lot of people. And you hear this kid, he goes, I've been isolating myself for 3 months. And right now, what you're doing to me is going to make me sick by putting me in this room with all these people. Because it was
He-
like tight.
He's probably right.
Yeah, he was right. So now there's just a ton of people in there, and they're going to take like 50 at a time to get tested. And so everyone's like positioning themselves, thinking, okay, they might take us this way or they might take us that way. So they're staying near that
Yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah.
And then I see people moving. So I just grab my stuff and I just run with them. And as I get to them, they're like 45, 46, 47, and they kind of be 47. So I made it by 3 to get into that
Nice.
group. So I'm like, all right, I got out of that. It could have been a 2 hour wait.
Oof.
I get into the testing area. This part's gonna uh
They
as you
didn't
get
test your
closer.
asshole, did they?
No, but you can
No.
start hearing you start hearing the test, like people coughing.
Ah.
But you're only hearing the guys gag.
Well, I guess on a
Yeah.
show called Fill My Hole, I shouldn't be surprised.
all the girls were like, oh, nothing.
Huh. Or at least a percentage of the guys, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, I just had to share that. I thought it was funny.
Fair
So
enough.
I get put into the room, and and she looks at me, and I'm like, "Is this pretty simple?" They're like, "Yeah, it's simple." She hands me this Q-tip. I'm like, "Throat, right? You're not going in the nose," because I was prepared to go back to America if they're going to nasal swab me. I can't handle
Why?
that. I can't handle
I
that.
did it here.
Yeah,
I had a COVID test done because I was pretty sick when it all started, and
and
I
it was
have kids.
nothing.
So, no, I didn't have it. But
Yeah,
no, actually, now that I think of it and trying to tell you what's the big deal, it was fucking terrible. It
yeah. That's why I just
it's
don't want that violation.
it
Something inside my
feels
nose,
like
rubbing my eyeballs.
it feels like fire in your nose and then a sharp pain. It only lasts a second. Like it's not. It's
Yeah.
the same thing as an influenza B test. It hurts, but it hurts more later.
Mm,
Like there's irritation that happens. Like after I
yeah,
left, my nose bled a little bit. She was rough. Like she
yeah.
didn't buy me dinner first. She just went for it dry.
Gotcha.
But look, man, you're gonna get back on a fucking plane to go back. You take the fucking nose swab like a man, and you keep going.
I know that's just what I was saying, but
Don't be a
obviously I
bitch.
wasn't gonna fly back. So she goes, "Yeah, just say ah." I'm like, so I had a body cam on. I had a little DJI Osmo in my
Yeah,
bag.
yeah.
I have this all recorded, and she goes, "Say ah." And I go ah, and literally all it did was like touch the roof of my throat. And I'm like, "There's no," and she pulls it out, I'm like, "That's it?" She goes, "Yeah, all set." I'm like, "Oh,
I don't think that's how it works. I'm not a doctor, but
yeah,
my understanding of it is you need like tissue. It's not just saliva. Like it needs
gee,
to. What do I know?
alright." I hope the government's not listening to this now. It feels like the test was designed to be negative.
That
That's
was
just
my
the vibe.
first thought. That was my. If that's what they're doing, there's two things that are at play here. Either the test was designed to be negative, or you're because there's footage of you doing it. You're trying to explain away why you didn't gag. Those are the two things that could be happening. But I'm pretty sure it's the former.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like the only dude that didn't gag.
But they
So I
they
get
just it just touched it just a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit.
It's tagik
So
sana.
I turn, I'm like, "Huh," like,
Okay.
"Okay, thank you." So
You might be
then,
right though. You might be right.
yeah,
They're
we'll
building
see.
confidence. That might be what they're
Or
doing.
she just kinda missed and thought she got me, and I got lucky.
I
Well,
guess.
not lucky, I wanted to know, but it's been 2 days and I feel fine.
Well, if you may have had it before, you may not have it. You may be
No, yeah.
asymptomatic. Who
And the
knows,
thing
right?
with the test, it doesn't prove if you cut it on the plane.
If
It can't
anything, if
detect
you
that.
caught it on the plane, it'll still be negative.
Correct. So
You
they
just
that's
caught it, yeah.
but
Huh.
if they if so, the only way you're gonna catch it on the plane if somebody was sick on the plane, so that they'll know. Except for the jumbo jet, that was not
Um,
tested.
hmm. Interesting. There's a lot of like gaps, like testing, mass testing like this to track. It seems
Mhm.
like it's not possible for a virus like this.
Yeah,
There's a weird incubation period, so many asymptomatic people, and this
right,
is all assuming that the information we have is accurate because it keeps changing. Like
right.
I'm not trying to be a coronavirus denier. Like I'm not. There's a virus and it's fucking wreaking havoc on the world.
Yeah, no, for
But
sure.
like tracing it this way, it seems again, I'm not a doctor, but it seems almost impossible. And even the antibody testings, the news coming out of the US about how like
Right,
unreliable it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, like Florida's open for business. They're not having a spike.
Mhm,
Montreal, major, like fucking whole old folks' homes, just everyone's dead. Everyone.
mhm.
Our numbers still kind of now they're okay. They're like I think there was like 65 new cases today, which is not crazy.
Oh, that's low
Yeah,
considering
but up
everything.
until 10 days ago, it was like in the thousands every day,
Oh,
and the deaths were high. And then all of a sudden, during like the beginning of the protesting, the numbers started to nosedive. So I was always like, okay, by June 16th, if this
yeah,
thing functions the way they're saying, everyone who's been out protesting
yeah,
is going to start getting sick.
right.
But what's
It's
today?
hasn't it's been 3 weeks since that,
Nothing has spiked. No, in
Mhm.
Montreal, the first protest in Montreal.
Oh, Montreal.
So
The
like,
ones
I'm
in the
just,
US started 3 weeks ago, and they're still,
but
I
like,
mean,
it's crazy. It seems like we found the cure, and it's angry people. Angry people kill coronavirus. So if you go out and protest it, it's not there.
yeah.
So like there's just so many different I'm not saying they shouldn't be protesting by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
trying
no,
to like put
yeah,
it all
yeah,
together.
yeah,
It's hard to imagine how Greece could mitigate the flow of a virus into its country this way.
yeah,
And at the same time, keep in mind how many thousands of people are flowing in illegally through the borders.
correct.
So like I'm staying here like for
Mhm.
now. This after your story, even like nothing you told me seems that crazy,
Yeah,
but you had me at no more direct flights. I'm not flying through two airports with a baby and a toddler during a
yeah, no,
pandemic.
no, yeah,
No
no,
way.
it's if you don't have a direct flight, don't do it. I think the direct flights are resuming in July, but I don't know
I'm
which one.
still no, I'm not going anywhere this summer. Like I'm
Yeah.
not with
If
kids.
it's
If it
not
was just me, I'd be there now because I think it'd be
if you're
interesting.
not a yearly Greece traveler, then you just take this year off and just say it's a wash this year.
Yeah, we're every couple of years, like we
Yeah, if
do it.
you're every couple of years, it's easier to take it off. But the people that love being here every summer, they're gonna find their way. Like
Well,
they're
look,
gonna
I
try.
love being there every summer too. I just can't in general.
Right,
Like it's not
right.
like I mean, I guess I could, but I don't have the type of job that allows me to like, hey, I'm taking 2 weeks off, and
Yeah,
and 2 weeks in Greece is not enough for me.
yeah,
Like I
because
need
like
to stay
4 of
long
those days
enough.
you're like situating yourself.
Exactly, and you're all fucked up, and I need at least long enough to forget that I don't live there. Like
Yeah,
I like to
exactly.
be confused when I come back. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Where am I?
exactly. Oh, that is the
That's my
best
favorite.
feeling when you come back to the States, you're like, "Oh, what is this stuff?"
I remember one of my first trips. Not my first trip to Greece. I was very young the first time we went to Greece. Like I barely remember it. But then I didn't go for like 13 years. And my grandfather took me as a gift for my like graduating high school. And he
Yeah,
took me solo. He's like, no parents, you're just coming with me. We're going to live in the village. I'm like, okay. And it's not like a cosmopolitan village. It's not anywhere near anything interesting. It's like
yeah,
landlocked, 3 hours to the beach in either direction, 2,000 meters up. And I remember coming back after that summer and insisting to my father that Coca Cola must have changed their bottles in North America because they look bigger. And
You
he's
know
like,
what? You just took that out of my mouth. That was
yeah,
the
blew
one
my
thing I was gonna
mind.
say as a kid, and I wasn't sure if anyone else does this. You
No,
come
no.
in, you look at the 1 liters for 2, 3 months. You go back, and they're like, "Did they expand the
They look
bottle?"
fatter. Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
they must have changed them. Show me pictures.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you wonder, like,
I thought I
why do
was the
you?
only one.
No, no, it's a thing, man. It's a real thing. It must have a name for this. You know
I
how
was
there's like,
ready to say that. Like, I'm like, as you were finishing, I'm like, have you ever looked at the
yeah,
bottle coming back?
it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Also, like, in all honesty, Coke tastes different from here to there.
Yeah, it does. The
Uh,
glass bottle here, I always remember here as a kid being like
yeah, I
absolutely.
had brought a whole bunch back from my dad's like, why did you bring glass bottles back from Greece? I'm like, aren't they cool? He's like, okay, because he had glass bottles growing up here. He's like, they're not a novelty. Now they're back, whatever. But in the 90s, this was like 1999 or, yeah, it was right before 2000. So it was like 98, 99.
I
But
saw an amazing
it's
Coca-Cola fake tweet today. It
a
said,
fake tweet.
yeah, it was. They used the word Coca-Cola as the handle. It was a fake
Yeah, yeah.
tweet for a meme, and it says, "2020 sucks. Effective immediately. We're putting the Coke back in."
Yo, I'm down. I'm 100% down. This year sucks. I've been trying. Honestly, Coke for me is like Coke. I have such a hard time. My wife gets so mad at me. I'll buy like a six, those little six mini bottles, because in my
Yeah,
mind, I'm like, they're smaller. I'll drink less. I
yeah,
drink them
yeah.
in like 4 days. And she's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I can't stop drinking Coke. Like, I'll go months where I'm like, no Coke in the house. And then I show up at my dad's. I'm like, you got any Coke? You got any Coke? I'm like, it's terrible.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
even have cocaine and I'm addicted to it.
yeah, yeah,
Terrible. Coke, if you want to sponsor this, send it on or I'll drink it all.
yeah.
Give myself like stomach cancer or something.
All right, so where were we? We were at
Yeah, I have
the
no idea.
test. We were at the test. So the test finished, and
Yeah.
So now I'm assuming I'm going to be escorted with this group to the baggage claim. We're going to grab our bags, and then we're going to be escorted to a bus that's going to take us to the government paid hotel for the night.
Yeah,
So
that's right. They put you in a hotel, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so I turn the corner. The guy goes, "Yeah, go that way." You get into the hallway. He says, "Go that way." You make it to the end. The next guy says, "Go this way." You get down there, and you're at baggage claim. I grabbed my bags. One was literally laying out in the middle of the floor. Like people were just assuming bags and just throwing them around.
Greece.
But like it
The
wasn't the
best.
drone bag, luckily.
Well, yeah.
Uh, so I grabbed my bags, and now I'm at the sliding doors that let you into the main lobby. So I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? Like I'm feet away from freedom. Um, so I'm looking around, nothing. I'm like, I'm rolling through. Here I go with my two bags. And
Nothing.
usually the doors open. There's like thousands of Greeks waiting for people. It was like five.
Oh, none of those like weird taxi guys.
Oh no, they weren't there.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
wonder
I
what those
love always
guys.
going up to one of them saying, "Hey, let's go. I'm here." You got to
I
try that one time. Just go.
what do you mean like randomly?
Just pick one that's got like Smith on it, and just be like, "Ella, here, I'm here. Let's go," and just get their reaction. My
Has that
cousin
ever
did that.
worked?
I came here one year with my cousin, and he literally went up to the guy and just like with confidence goes, "Here's my
Yeah.
bags. Let's go."
And he
And the
took
guy
you?
goes, "No, no."
Oh, okay, okay.
My cousin immediately goes, "Oh, I'm just fucking with you, dude."
Oh man, no, that's only half a good story. If you guys had
Yeah,
gotten a free
yeah,
ride,
yeah.
that's a great
That'd be
story.
great. That'd be great.
I'm gonna do that one day.
So
That's I
now
never
I'm
thought
in
of
the
that.
main lobby and I'm rolling along and I'm like near the car rental place. So I'm like, why don't I'm just gonna rent a car and get the hell out of here. And
Yeah.
I'll just like,
But wait, what about the hotel?
no one took me. So now I'm at the point like I asked this lady, I'm like, what's going on? She goes, ask info. So I booked the car. I'm like, you know what? If they do take me, I'd still rather book the car and have it ready when I get back
Yeah,
tomorrow.
exactly. Yeah.
So I booked the car and then I'm like, I can't walk out. I gotta ask one more person. I just feel
It's
bad.
the
Like,
responsible thing to
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I hope the government's listening. So I walk over the information. I'm like, why am I free right now? Aren't I supposed to be put in a hotel? And they're like, you just landed in Germany, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, you're free to go. They're just gonna call you tomorrow. And I'm like, huh,
Did they
hey,
assume, hold on. Did they
yeah,
assume that because you flew in from a European port of entry that you were from Europe?
I
So
think
you're
so.
not, well, assume. They wanted to assume.
Because
That
because in
that
their eyes,
doesn't make
how do
any sense.
if in their eyes, how do you clear German customs? So
That seems like a turn your head
no.
and look the other way on purpose kind of situation.
So here's the other caveat, if that's even the right word here.
Kavit. It's kavit.
Caveat. Um, I was then told that they stopped the hotel process because it was costing them too much money. Somebody else told me this.
That makes sense. That makes way more sense.
So they would. Someone said that about a day before you got here, they stopped doing it.
Huh. Because I saw someone travel, do the same thing you did, basically Instagram story the entire process.
Yeah.
Someone I'm friends with, and they went to the hotel,
Yeah. No, my friend who got here 3 days
and it
prior,
was only a few days. Yeah.
she was in the hotel, and then they even offered her a second night because it got the results came so late. You could stay second night if you want. They said.
Oh, that's a sweet. It looked like a nice hotel. I think it's the one that's at the airport.
No, it's in
Uh,
ammonia.
it's in Omonia. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hmm.
And
Whatever.
another friend came 2 weeks prior, and she documented the whole thing. They'd like leave food by your door with like in a
It's
brown bag,
amazing.
bananas, apples, sandwiches, everything.
This is all very disconcerting. Like
So
the
like I was, and people were like, "Oh, did you? You didn't have to. You're so lucky. You didn't have to do the government hotel." I'm like, I wanted the government hotel. I
yeah.
wanted the free
So
food and the free night.
hold on. Did you not have somewhere to go?
I did. I was able to
Oh,
get
okay.
into my Airbnb a day early.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
I had the
also
Airbnb set. I was able to get in early.
okay. Also, you do the Airbnb thing when you're in Greece.
Not always, but I
Okay.
had it set up this time.
Honestly, best place in the world to do Airbnbs, Greece.
Yeah,
I've done it all over the world, and it's never been a better experience than in
yeah,
Greece.
no, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
like you end up making a new friend
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
host.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, I remember
what's
last year in Milos, a friend in me and my friend we were staying in this Airbnb, and we were literally kicking it with the foyer yadas that ran the place. Like they had their dining set out
that's
on their
amazing.
porch upstairs, and we were like kicking it with them. We have a picture of us just hanging out with them by
Yeah,
the
it's
foyer.
always like that. Like in the States, it feels like even in before Corona, like I just get into an Airbnb and the guy's like, "Here's your keys, don't touch me." Like, let me know if
Yeah,
you need anything, and he's gone.
the hospitality is different in Greece.
Yeah,
It's
it's
more
different. Like I remember we stayed in
coming in. It's like you're part of the culture.
yeah, well, I guess it's different for us too. Like I think Greek like diaspora Greeks, like Greek Americans, Greek Canadians, I think the Greeks are there's like a romanticized version of us. They're like, "Oh, these Greeks who live far away," especially the Greeks who have never really traveled. Like the ones who have traveled know like whatever. We're basically Westerners. Let's speak a bit of Greek most of us. But like
Right.
if you fall on a set who have traveled only a bit, haven't encountered too many, and you speak Greek well,
Yeah.
they're like, "You're my new best friend. You're hanging out with me." My wife was like, "Can you kick the hosts out? We want to sleep." We're in
So
Pira, and she's like,
I got a travel tip for anyone that's listening.
"Not the
So
government though. They tuned out again."
yeah, they do
Yeah.
that. They don't hear anything fishy. So there's always the thing about how don't speak English in a taxi cab because the meter is going to run fast, right? Because they don't, they're just going to take advantage of the tourists.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Right. It's real.
It's
I've witnessed
absolutely real. Yeah.
it. But I've learned how to take that one step further and show that, yes, I am a tourist, but they're going to charge you the lowest possible rate.
Okay, I'm all ears because this is interesting.
Yes. So you go in there speaking Greek, but you immediately admit to them that because they can tell like the accent, it's not there. It's not a true Greek accent.
Speak
They're
for
like, oh,
yourself. I can
they're
hide
like,
for 30 minutes in plain sight.
so I pulled it off a few times where they thought I was a local, but it doesn't always work. They can hear it in your pitch. So
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. You nailed it. It's pitch. That's what it is most of the time that gives it
in the
away.
pitch. So they're like, Papuisa. And I'm like, yeah, up to Ameriki, and I come here yearly. Like I look forward to my summers here because like it
Oh, you're
means a lot.
playing that card. Okay.
No, they lead it on. I originally it started off, yeah, I'm Greek American, but I'm here every summer. And they're like, oh, why do you come so often? "Oh, I just love it here. I mean, this is home, and you win them over so quickly when they hear this is home. The Greek American loves coming back. They're your best friend.
Ah, I
I
don't
was
know.
taking
I think that could go either way.
drives at midnight for €6 after this.
I've
Like
never done
they were
that, so I'm
playing.
not
They're
gonna
like,
argue.
yeah, that's what about daddy. That's
That's cool.
yeah.
I've I've not had very many bad experiences with Greek cabbies.
Yeah,
I've had like mediocre to good, but I always approach it like in complete incognito mode. Like I'm a local, you're gonna
yeah.
do what I tell you, and I'm gonna sit in the front. And if you let me smoke, maybe I'll tip you. Like that's the
Another
vibe
tip:
I approach with.
you're in Athens, and you're afraid to get overcharged, use the Uber app. Even though Uber
Yes,
doesn't work in
that's
Greece,
right.
calls a yellow cab for you.
Yes, that I have heard.
So,
But
and they can
Uber doesn't work anywhere in Greece or just in Athens? No, they
just
don't.
in
It doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
just in Athens, and it's not. You can't actually become an Uber driver. It's they
Yeah,
send a
yeah,
yellow
it's the cabs. Yeah, the syndicates are strong.
because 2 years ago there was Uber drivers and they got their asses beat by the
Yeah, I
yellow.
remember that. There's only
They
like a few
literally
things. They got into a
beat their
big
ass.
brawl. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. So, but
So
like,
they
okay, hold on. I feel like we've tangented on weird cab stories too long. What's your
yeah.
plan now? Like, what's
Oh yeah, let's get back
yeah,
to finishing that. I didn't even finish the airport story.
I
Sorry.
don't know. Did you? You left. You got in a cab. You got in a car. No
So
one checked
I
you, and
asked,
you
I
left.
go, yeah. He told me just go. I get out of the car and yeah, I go to my Airbnb and that was it. And I'm still waiting. It's been 48 hours and I haven't got my results.
So you have to effectively do the 7 days, or do as long as it takes to get a negative result, right?
No, the negative result has nothing to do with
You
it.
still have
It's
to do
seven
the
days.
7 days.
7 days. If they call me and say you're positive, they'd probably come pick me up and put me in the government hotel for 2 weeks.
Okay, so what's the verdict here? Like, do you think like the system actually is going to weed out people who could potentially infect other people?
You know,
Again, you're not a doctor. You witnessed it though,
no, because they can't. They're not going to detect it if you caught it on the plane. They're only going to detect it if you were sick and flying.
right? So where
But
are you off to?
let's say you caught it in your connection. Sorry, what did you say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's say you caught it on the connecting flight. They have no way of knowing that
No,
because they're not
absolutely.
tracing the rest of that flight. They're tracing the small plane out of Germany, and you caught it on the jumbo jet, but went undetected, and now you're in Mykonos slobbing on some whatever.
One, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about a bottle, dude, a nice bottle of Belvedere. I'm
Oh,
just
I
kidding.
just meant another human being.
That's where I was going,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
just changed the topic in case kids will listen.
There's no kids listening to film. Listen, kids, if you're listening, tell your parents they're bad parents. Go on.
So yeah, so then they're in Mykonos, not knowing they're sick, passing it on. Things can get bad this summer. So
It,
I'm
that's my
my
biggest
intent
fear.
is not to be at party scenes. I'm not like, and anyone's just listening saying, "Oh, you don't want Greek Americans there, but you're there. Why are you there?" I'm here to do a lot of work. Like
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
I'm not here to just tan and swim. I'm gonna do that for a little bit, but I have like daily agendas. Um,
Look, it's one thing if it's pleasure, it's another thing if it's business. Like, obviously for you, it's a mix of both. And again, I tip my hat to you for pulling that off. But like for me, it's not worth the risk. One, to potentially bring something in from a city that's clearly not handling it well here, and to get sick abroad. And I've been sick in Greece, and I've had excellent experiences in the Greek hospital system, possibly the best of my life. And I come from Canada. Like we have, we don't. This is a fucking fallacy, but we have socialized amazing healthcare. We don't. You'll fucking die waiting, and it's clean and up to date and modern. But Greece was some of the most efficient healthcare I've ever had, and I was super sick. And I'm still nervous to go there and get sick with two kids and a wife, and like it's
Speaking of,
just weird.
I get sick every summer I come to Greece the last 5 years.
Most people do. Most people do because
Last
you're
year,
coming
on
off
the
of the
middle
air.
of no, I'm talking about middle of the trip. Something happens to me. Like last year, I was a month into my trip. I'm in Minos and I start freezing, and it's like 80 degrees out. I'm like congested. I
Let
got
me
the
guess.
chill.
Everyone's telling you, all the locals are telling you it's because you sleep with the air conditioner on too cold,
Yeah, the
right?
filters got me sick. I'm telling you, it's the
Yeah,
AC filter.
because
They don't change them.
exactly. Everyone
Yeah,
always says the AC makes you sick, but they're thinking like, oh, it's cold. But really, you're
it's the
sleeping in a
bad
place
filter.
that 1,000 people have slept in.
Yeah,
The
and
filter's
like these
probably
filters have not
disgusting.
changed. They should be changed like monthly.
Yeah, and that's not a Greece thing. Like this happened to us in Florida last April, and my wife ended up being hospitalized for like some weird inflammation from mold in her
Yeah.
lungs, and she was
So,
pregnant at the time.
uh,
Yeah,
so we
like
had to. So it was hot, but I couldn't sleep with AC. So what we would do is just put it on blast until I know I'm gonna go to bed. freeze the
turn
room
it
as much
off.
as possible, turn it off, and sleep as fast as possible so you don't feel the heat.
Yeah.
And
Well, it
I got
depends where
better
you
like
are.
later. I had to like literally wear a jacket when we went out for like a walk in the middle of the
Oh
summer.
yeah, I've been there. That happened to the last time did I get oh, excuse me, I just burped on a podcast. I'm gonna cut that out. The last time did I get sick? I'm trying to think. I got midway through, all of a sudden, we were just leaving, we were in Rhodes heading to Paros,
Yeah,
and I just got sick randomly. Like randomly, on the last 2, 3 days, I just got like a sinus infection
yeah.
for no reason.
That happens to me all the time. The
And then
sinus.
and Greek pharmacies are real pharmacies. They're not like in North America where it's also a supermarket and also other things. And like European, I'm sure you've noticed this. European medication, there's no branding on it. Like
No,
it's not
but
like bright colors. It's the law though.
it's effective.
What like Panadol and stuff?
Meaning, no. So here's the story. Well, 4 or 5 years ago, I have these four cousins. They're all siblings, and they're all doctors. They're
Okay.
like surgeons, this, that. They're like military surgeons. So we're out one night. It's like my last night after like a 3 week trip, and we're just sitting at some like beach, some bar down in Kalamata. And I take a sip, and I turn my head, and like I get a muscle spasm right
Oh
here,
yeah, I've been there.
and it was so bad that I couldn't swallow.
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't.
okay.
I tried to chew the food, and I'm like, guys, I can't pull it down. Like I was like struggling to pull the air down, and they're like, let. So we slowly made our way out of there. I was able to like calm down. We stopped to see if we can eat. We try to eat one more time. We get a gyro, and I just tried biting the fries. I can't pull it down. Like it's not going down. It's a
You
lot of
like
pain.
popped like a muscle or a nerve
Yeah.
or something, right?
So they're like, all right, we're gonna go find a 24-hour pharmacy. We know the medicine that you need. We buy this lotion, start rubbing it all over me. It was gone like in hours.
Well, what was it? I get a lot of
I don't,
stiff necks. I
yeah,
think
I
I
don't.
know what
It
it
wasn't
was.
a stiff neck. It was this muscle right here that helps you swallow. Just spazzed and went.
Yeah, the old torticolio. I think it's in Latin or something.
Yeah,
And
something like that.
the local in French because they
Yeah.
use it often. The term is
But
called the
every year I
torticolis,
have
right?
one of these weird situations. So I'm like desperate to avoid this disease, this COVID
No,
right now.
I believe you. I'm right there with you. I'm a bit of a hypochondriac.
But I do gotta admit, I did get like a congestion on the plane. So when I
Well,
got here, the
that's
first day, right, it's common. Like I had the sinus congestion, I was lightheaded, and
right here.
I'm like, no, I didn't have pain there. I
No.
had a tight nose, I couldn't breathe out of my nose. I was a little lightheaded, and I'm like, great, I got COVID. It's coming. Like, it's
Do you want to
coming.
hear the dumbest airplane injury you'll ever hear in your life?
Tell me.
So 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago, I forget when it was. I think it was 2017. I flew to Greece solo for the first. I had never flown in my life by myself. I'm 33 years old. Okay, I was 31. I had never been on an airplane by myself.
Like it?
At the time, it was okay. Last year, I flew 14 times solo, so like I'm used to it now.
Alright, so
Like
usually enough
it's
time,
a
right?
whole different. Like
Yeah,
getting into an airplane for me now is like getting into a cab. I was like, that's what I got. I just fall asleep and that's it. But this was the first time I had ever done it, and I was a bit nervous. And I have sinus issues, so I always take antihistamines before I fly. And I don't know. I guess I was nervous. I was talking to this weird old Portuguese lady the whole flight, and I literally had a pack of XL gum, and I went through the whole pack during the flight. I just constantly chewing gum. When I landed in Athens, I missed my flight because I had to pee so bad, and there was a lineup for the bathroom that I ran to another bathroom, and then I missed my connecting flight to Rhodes to go
oh,
meet my wife and kid. So I called
oh,
my buddy. I'm like, "Look, I'm stranded in Athens for the day. Can I come over?" He's like, "Okay." So I go over to his house. He goes, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I don't know, whatever." And all of a sudden, I go, and he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I can't move my jaw." And my jaw the second the inflammation of flying and being at pressure
yeah.
came down, I got lockjaw from chewing gum for 12, like 9 hours, and it took
Oh
4 days for like eating. It was like I'd eat a French fry, like I would like
my
mush it with my tongue a little bit just to get it down. It's terrible. And I
oh
tell my wife, and I'm on the phone. I'm like, I don't know, my jaw's fucked up. I can't come to. I don't know. She's like, "Were you chewing gum the whole flight?"
my
I'm like, "Why? Why would you ask me that?" She was like, "Were you?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I was." She goes, "You'll be fine. Take an Advil or go find some Neurofriend, whatever they have in Greece."
Did you hop on a plane the next day?
I did, yeah. Well, no, I spent. I don't remember. No, actually, I caught a flight late, like really late that night. Like we basically got shit faced in Athens all day, like to
Nice.
like numb the pain. Like we went for coffee. I went and got a haircut. Then we went drinking. Went for a nap. Then we ate. Then we went drinking again. Then I got on a plane. And I went to my family.
And I
Because
would
we
love to go to like Monasteraki and have a drink right now. I just can't get out.
well, you're in Glifada. Just go downstairs. There must be something. No one's gonna catch you.
No, it's not a hotel. It's just an Airbnb room.
Yeah, well, you're in a neighborhood, right? You walk
Yeah,
to a like a town square. There must be something
yeah,
you
I
can
know
do.
I could. I just, I don't
It's alcohol. As long as you wear your mask and then you drink booze, no one's getting hurt.
I don't know.
Eh,
I'll
but
tell you.
what'd you say?
I'll tell you off the record.
Off, yeah, after.
Yeah, I'll tell
But
you if I
so
decide.
what's next? Where are you heading to next? And like I think we're coming up on the end of our hour. I told you at the beginning, I want to keep
Yeah,
them under an hour so
yeah,
that we
for
can
sure.
get them on IG.
Yeah.
But where what's the plan? Where are you heading to after
So
you're set free?
yeah, when quarantine ends Saturday, our plan is to hit probably 4 or 5 islands. Um, we're gonna
You go to
a few.
Paros.
Huh?
Are you doing Paros again?
Paros is on the list. Yes.
Go to AG and Delhi.
Okay.
This is how we first met. I was telling go to AG and Delhi.
Alright, I will.
You have to go to AG and Delhi. It's right in the town square off the port. It's like that.
All
You cannot miss it. It's literally
right.
in the center of the fucking square.
Done. Done. I always like try new places.
No,
Uh,
you're gonna blow your mind.
so the four that are definitely gonna happen is Milos spot. Not in this order.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna order it most efficient with the ships. Milos Paros, probably Mykonos because it's gonna be so empty. It's gonna be so weird. I want to see that.
I wonder if
Uh,
it'll be empty.
it will because it's like
Yeah,
tourism hasn't even started. And for Legendros is gonna possibly be on it. Plus one or two more that we're gonna pick on the fly.
okay. So you just it sounds like a fun summer. The summer of COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you'll come back married or something. You'll meet like a lovely Russian girl on an island.
maybe. But yeah,
Huh.
on Milos, I'm shooting a film for Sarakiniko Beach. On Paros, I'm shooting a film that's designed just for Nausa, and then the rest is gonna be random content creation.
On Milos, you're filming what? Now says in Paros, no?
Strictly on Milos Island. It's gonna be one film based off just one beach, the Moonscape Sarakiniko.
Oh, right. Right. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I mixed up where you were saying. I
And then
lost track of you there for a second.
Paros, I'm shooting a film basically just Nausa, just the ins and outs of Nausa.
Now sounds interesting. A little too dense for me, like too party, but I'm sure it'll be quieter now. Pretty
Yeah,
town though.
yeah. At nights it does fill up down by
Yeah,
Barbarossa and Salty and all that.
it gets pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So so we already know where people can find you. He is Greece. So it's
yeah.
at I am Greece, right?
Greece is where my page, but if you want to see my personal travels along this way, it's at I am Greece.
And you're gonna be posting everything like story style.
Yeah, we'll be doing daily posts, and because I'm gonna have an assistant with me, and she'll be producing a lot of the story stuff, like
All right, cool.
behind the
Very cool.
scenes of the filming, and just into like I'll be talking to her camera, and I'll be going on my story and stuff like that.
Nice. The dream to have someone else do it for you.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
dream, man.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to the hole. My
Thank
name
you.
is Phil Balabanos. But you knew that. I assume everyone knows that at this point. You can follow me at balabanos.com, at pbalabanos. All that shit's down there. I don't need to go over it every time. Spotify, iTunes, it's on there if you guys want to listen to this. I assume, based on your request for a copy of this, it's not for just, as a good memory. You may also share it on your page.
If you
Is
give me
that
the
what
bless,
I'll think about it. Now that I've gotten the interview out of you, I'll see what I want to do. But again, thank you for doing this. It was great to actually fucking meet you and actually have a
yeah,
conversation with you
sure,
finally.
yeah, sure, for
And
sure. But
I
I'll
guess
definitely share the link in my story with a screenshot so that
there
people
you
can.
go. So if you guys are too lazy to follow me, go follow Tony. And Greek government, look, it's turnkey. It's a turnkey operation. Give him like 3-4 months to flush it out. You guys can buy it. Think of me as a realtor, okay? I'm just gonna set it up. I'll take my cut and I'm gone.
They can't buy it. They can acquire. They can acquire me, but they cannot buy it.
Well, they cannot buy it. That's it. We're not. It's not
You
for
buy,
sale, guys. But maybe a
you
nice
tell someone
government,
you can't do something, it's just gonna make them eager to want to do it.
or you can get a nice service contract out of it.
Or that.
Thank you for listening to Fill My Hole. Tony, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you guys in the next video or in the next audio, and we'll have another guest who isn't Tony. You've been listening to Fill My Hole. This podcast is available on YouTube in its full video form. If you're lazy and you don't want to Google it and you don't want to search on YouTube, balabanos.com, hit the podcast section. You can subscribe directly to the RSS feed. My name is Phil Balabanos, and I'll see you next time.